I'm actually a horrible YouTube Forex guru because I've already lied to you in the title of this video. I actually risk substantially more than $10,000 per Forex trade on a lot of my trades. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you why I do that. I'm going to show you some of the past trades I've taken this week that have ended in a loss. I lost $20,000 in a day a couple days ago. Some current trades that I'm in that I stand to make anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 on. And then I'm going to make it very clear why I make such big bets on a lot of these Forex trades that I place. If you're new to my channel, my name's Nick. I'm just some bald guy who trades Forex and yells at you in YouTube videos. And I've been trading for almost a decade. And over the past decade, I've made a couple $1,000,000 from combined Forex market, stock market, and the cryptocurrency market. So I know a thing or two about trading. I've taught thousands of people how to trade. And in this video, maybe you'll learn something from me, or maybe you won't. Remember that trading is risky and most people lose money, and you're probably better off just going and getting a job at McDonald's. But if you're stupid enough to keep watching my video, then here, I'm just going to show you what I do. First things first, I call all my trades and analysis and everything. I share it here on my free Telegram channel. We've got a little over 10 members in there so far. I think this is 63,000. And I just share my trades. So here's some trades I'm in right now. GBP CAD, I'm in some sells. I'm in Euro AUD, I'm in some sells. And I break down the analysis. I post a bunch of different stuff in here. Some of it's just satire, some of it's comedy. I even post a little bit about trading every now and then. I post whether I'm winning or whether I'm losing, share all my analysis. And if you're not in here, it's really stupid for you to not be in here because I just share all this stuff for free every single day. I just post in here. Here's the analysis and things like that. My exact trades, I call it in a server right here. And that's what we're actually going to go and look at here, the MFX Nick's Trades Discord thing. I'm not going to give you a link to go and buy this subscription because it's a paid thing. You're going to have to find the link somewhere yourself. I don't know, maybe on my YouTube, maybe on my Telegram. But I'm not going to give you a link because you should just join the free Telegram channel first. So here's the trades that I'm currently sitting in right now. And right now, they're currently actually sitting, everything's floating around, maybe break even, a little bit of profit, a little bit of loss. And we're going to actually go into these trades. First, I want to show you a trade that I lost last week. I'm actually going to show you how I managed that. So I lost $20,000 last week on Euro AUD. I called a closure right here, and I will show you where I actually called it out. So here on March 11th, we're sitting here on March 13th. I said, okay, management for Euro AUD. I'm exiting here, and it was a $20,000 loss. Now, you can see this was my initial trades, right? I had a sell right here. I added a sell here, and it kept going up, and so I closed at a loss. So why did I sell? Euro AUD spiked up to a major, huge weekly resistance zone, and I thought she was likely to bounce. So I entered. I had a risk structure. I risked what I was comfortable risking. Trade started out at a 10K risk, and then whenever I added my next position, it went to a $20,000 risk. And what I'll do is, in some positions, I won't add to them in drawdown. Some positions I'll add in profit. Some positions I'll do this and that. It's all really dynamic, and it really just takes a lot of experience to kind of know what the best context-based decision is given the trading opportunity. You're never going to know every single time exactly what it's going to be, but if you get enough experience, the way that you manage that and the way you manage trades, the way you execute your discretion, that will be your edge. And if you don't have experience, you have no edge in manual trading. You might as well get a job at McDonald's, as I've already suggested. So Euro AUD, it spiked up really high, went up to a major weekly resistance zone. I just thought, maybe it'll bounce, okay? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's what risk management's for. So here was the actual loss that day. I closed at about a $20,000 loss. You can see the first position was negative 14 grand. Next position was negative 6 grand for about $20,000 loss. Plus some swaps. Maybe this turned out to be a 21K loss over the course of a couple days. So I also I'm going to be watching Euro AUD like a hawk to re-enter, and I have since re-entered this trade, and I'm going to show you why I'm now back in this trade. Let's go here to the weekly time frame. If we look right here, Euro AUD is at a location where we've had some pretty big bounces before, right? Multi-thousand pip bounces. My analysis is never anything complicated. It's never anything ridiculous. It's never anything crazy. It is literally just looking at where prices bounced a couple times and saying, okay, price is now at this area where it's bounced a couple times, so maybe I'll buy here at this area where it's bounced a couple times and then put a stop loss below that area and then a target, usually of just a 1-to-1. Sometimes I extend my targets a little bit, but my targets are always going to be at least a 1-to-1 in reference to where the entry and the stop loss is placed, and I risk $10,000 to $20,000 on this. Now, why am I able to risk so much? Well, it's very simple. I just know what the stats are. I know that I'm going to lose some trades. Some days I'll lose 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. But there's also going to be days where I'm making 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. And as long as I just have a couple more days per year where I'm making a lot of money versus those days where I lose a lot of money, then that means that I'm long-term profitable. Okay. I've been trading 9 years in total, and 7 of those years have been profitable. It's been the same thing over and over. I've had amazing years and I've had horrible years, but every single year has been profitable since then, net on P&L. So I've sold Euro AUD here at this weekly resistance zone because I just think she's going to drop. She's gone up really far in one direction. I think it's likely to turn around at some point. Generally, the more price goes in one direction in the Forex market, the more likely it is to revert. This goes against a lot of the common knowledge that people say in the stock market, which is the more it goes in one direction, the more likely it is to continue in that direction. I've just found in Forex trading, that's not the case. It's a very steady state market. It has a lot more mean reversion characteristics. Generally, when price stretches really far in one direction, you see it revert back to its mean. You see price kind of pull back. So I'm short on Euro AUD again. I called another short here, getting back into it. I have re-entered Euro AUD with all the parameters shown above, and this was yesterday in the morning. So this is about a day ago. I entered about 8 a.m. yesterday, so about 24 hours ago. Went ahead and entered a sell, just put a stop above the recent high because I think if it turns around right here, that's a reasonable stop. Only risked 5K on this one, and what I'm going to be doing is adding to this if this starts going into more profit. My net risk on this is probably going to end up maybe around 10, 15, 20K, just kind of depending on the context. Maybe around 15K, because if I add in profit, it's going to screw up the basis a little bit, so the next position will probably have more risk. However, if this just goes to the target alone without me even adding any more, right? I've risked 5K and this could make 15K. That'll make back most of the losses from that. And that's not even counting the next trade that we're going to talk about, which is GBP CAD. So GBP CAD is now currently sitting in almost a net profit. She's since come down a little bit from where I entered. Why did I enter GBP CAD? Well, it's very, very simple logic. Okay, I'm going to show you. I don't have any smart money, order block, Wagyu beef, fair value, distribution gap strategies to show you. All I have to show you is price goes up and down and back and forth and up and down, and now it's gone up. And I have this crazy idea that maybe it'll pull back down. Why? Because the Forex market is mean reverting. Generally, when price makes a new high, especially on like a higher time frame like the daily and the weekly chart, you generally see price sell off and have a reversion and pull back. Then maybe it'll go make a higher low and continue the trend, whatever. You've already made profit if you sell whenever it makes a new high and it pulls back. Now you're going to be wrong. Just like any trading approach, you're going to have days where you lose money. You're going to have trades where you lose money. You're going to have days where you feel so bad and your wife's boyfriend says that you're not even allowed to sleep on the living room floor anymore. And so you have to go and sleep in the closet, and you don't like the closet because it's very small and compact and you can't even stretch all the way out. And so you kind of have to lay hunched against the wall, and then you don't even have an internet connection in there because you don't get service in there. So you have to use your 5G on your phone, but then it goes really slow and then you're just really frustrated. I'm trying to prevent this from happening to you. And the way I'm going to prevent this from happening to you is by telling you that you just need to keep it really, really simple, because I don't want you to feel sad inside. Look at how simple this logic is. I have gone to the daily and weekly charts. I have seen that price is just going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And then it's gone up. And I'm over here thinking, okay, maybe now that it's gone up, maybe it will go down. Okay. There's also the context of this like support resistance level, but that's a really, really big zone. That's really, really far back. I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm just saying this is all really this trade was based off of. It's just made a new high. Generally, after price makes a new high, you have a reversion. How much is the reversion? Down here, it was 300 pips. Down here, it was 300 pips. Down here, it was 400 pips. Down here, it was 300 pips. There was another one here for 700 pips. Now we've gone all the way up here. Let's say it just goes down 400 pips, right? 400 pips is just back to the high. That's a very, very short move. If price can just get back here into these highs, right? Just maybe come back and retest that little resistance zone that I broke. That is my profit target. And I'm going to actually show you where my profit target is. You can see it's right there. Just for context, on this one position right here, that 5 lot position at the very top that I'm in right now, and that's currently sitting in profit, both of the two top positions, that alone will be $20,000 profit. If this position down here, the 2.5 lot sell goes and hits the profit target, that's going to be $7,000 profit. And if the 5 lot position down here goes and it's the profit target, that's going to be $10,000 of profit. If this trade just falls, right? If price just falls from this higher high and just goes down a very modest amount, right? 350 to 400 pips on the basis of my entries, then I'm going to make $37,000, right? After swaps and commissions and all the other bullshit, perhaps I'll make $35,000, okay? $35,000, and all I've really done was 5 seconds of analysis while I was half asleep in the morning. I haven't even finished my coffee yet, and I've got like half a cup of coffee left that I need to finish. And I've decided that I'm going to sell because price just made a higher high, and I think it might pull back. If your trading approach and your reasons for entering a trade takes you more than about maybe 5 to 10 seconds to explain, I think you're doing way too much. And the reason I think you're doing way too much is because when you look at a chart, you have to acknowledge the fact that price is just going to go up or down. There is no reason to sit here and walk across the tightrope of mental gymnastics and dance around and say, I'm doing this because the fundamental context and the CAD is strengthening against the dollar because the Trump tariffs are going to cause a trade war and they're going to do a backlash and that's causing this economy over here to do this and that. We got an economic news event and then NFP's Friday. We need to look at the CPI data. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. Do you know why? It's because the only thing that's going to make you profitable is not by looking at technical analysis or looking at indicators or looking at the fundamental context or playing all these stupid games that so many people fall trapped to. It is going to come from you getting enough experience to look at the damn chart and say, okay, usually when this happens, a little more than half the time, this next thing will happen. For example, when price gets to a major support resistance zone on the daily or weekly chart, something that is so painfully obvious that you're just like, okay, price has had huge bounces here multiple times in the past. You'll remember my first position I sold here on Euro AUD. I still think it's going to drop. I think this is a fake out. I think this is a huge move and it's made a new high. It's more than likely to drop right here based on the total context. But even when I just sold here initially, you will be wrong a little less than half the time. If you have experience, and I'm not guaranteeing you anything, you're probably going to lose money doing this anyway, so it's kind of pointless for me to be telling you this. But for those few of you, the less than 10% of you that are going to stick to trading and eventually get profitable, I am telling you this. You're going to lose a little less than half the time, and you're going to win a little bit more than half the time if you're profitable and you get enough experience. You take 6 to 12 months just looking at the damn charts, watching the same stupid things happen over and over again. You end up accepting that you'll sell at resistance and buy at support, and there's not really much more to do. You don't have to play all these stupid games. You don't have to do all this crazy analysis. You take 5 to 10 seconds to have a simple reason for entering a trade, and you just let it play out. You're free to close it early if you want. You're free to add to it if you want, whether you're adding in drawdown or adding in profit. It's all up to you and whatever your risk tolerance is. But if you keep it very, very simple, that is the best way to go. Take it from me. I have been trading almost a decade. I have seen the same shit over and over for years. I have coached thousands of people on how to trade, and I've consistently found that the best way to approach it is just to keep things very, very simple and then control risk in some way. There's a variety of ways to control risk. You can just deposit only a certain amount into the account you're willing to lose, maybe a small percentage of your total trading capital. You can use stop losses to control risk. You can use dollar cost averaging, meaning just adding to losing trades to control risk. You can use hedging to control risk. If price breaks above a zone, you just enter an equal and opposite position. So you're hedged and you pause the loss and it goes somewhere else and you manage the hedge later. You can do a variety of different things to manage risk, but if you keep things very freaking simple and you find a way to control risk, that is legit all you have to do. In my very humble opinion, not financial advice. Please don't sue me. Do whatever the hell you want. I'm just sharing what's worked for me and what I have seen work for thousands of other people. So with that being said, I'm in Euro AUD and I think she's going to drop. And if she doesn't drop, I'll lose money. That's the reality. I may lose like 20 grand on this or 15 grand or, whatever. I think it's actually 5 grand risk right now. If she does go into profit, what I'll likely do is just add to it. Then I'll just move my stop a little bit closer and then, we'll see how that plays out. Now, I'm also going to show you some of the trade setups I'm looking at the rest of this week. Again, this is all shared in the free Telegram channel. If you're not in there, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, this group is probably better than your guru's paid signals group, and it's probably more entertaining than anything else you could watch. I get kind of wild in here, so I don't know. Maybe if you're very conservative, you probably shouldn't join it. Maybe you shouldn't join it to begin with. Maybe it's too degenerate for you. But if you want to have some fun and just see all this shit for free every day, it's in here. This is where I called that initial Euro AUD trade I was telling you about. That's what it looked like whenever I entered. I sold at resistance, pretty crazy. This is GBP Canadian dollars. This is where I entered my first sell position after it made the new high. And, these have yet to play out with. This is one of my crypto wallets, it's up 77,000 in a day. And there's also days where I'm down 100 grand in a day and I'm watching my P&L fluctuate back and forth. It's insane stuff. So I've called a lot of this here. And one of the things I've called is Euro USD. Now, whenever we go to the daily and the weekly chart, you can see right here, I happen to be on the weekly, but it's the same shit on the daily. You go to the daily, you zoom out a little bit, it's the same exact shit. But what I've done is I've set alert here at this resistance zone. So it's the price of 1.117. Now, what is my crazy idea here? If Euro USD gets up there, what is my crazy idea? My crazy idea is to sell when price gets into the resistance zone with a stop loss just above the zone and a take profit at least a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Perhaps it might be a little bit more if the trade sets up, contingent on where exactly I enter at and where the stop loss is. And on this, my risk will be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. That's it. I'm going to sell at the resistance zone if Euro USD gets there, and it's either going to win or it's going to lose. And I will win a little more than half my trades, and I'll lose a little less than half my trades, and everything's going to be fine and dandy by the end of the year, regardless of losing streaks, regardless of all the crazy win streaks too. They say that 80% of your profits come from 20% of your trades. I think there's some truth to that. You're going to have some trades that just do really, really well. And you're going to have other trades where you just scratch out at break even, small loss, small profit, kind of a pain in the ass, this back and forth stuff. You're going to have weeks where you end down in P&L. You're going to have months throughout the year where you end down in P&L. I myself average 3 to 4 losing months per year. That's the reality of trading. Most people who have been trading for a while don't even recognize this because they're not even profitable to begin with, and they don't understand the reality of trading. And other people will make it seem as though everything is always fine and dandy. And, we don't really have any losing months. What's a losing month? I don't understand what that is. Professional traders who trade for prop firms, not these stupid retail funded challenge bullshit things, but I'm talking actual proprietary trading firms and funds that are like mutual funds and hedge funds and things like that. People who are trading there, they average themselves a couple down months per year, meaning these are professionals who do this for a living, who make tens of millions of dollars for their fund or whatever it is they work for, their financial asset management company. They average a couple losing months per year. Go and look at the statistics. I'm not just making this shit up. It is no different for you. If you're a retail trader like me, you represent 5% or less of the total trading volume in the Forex market. You are going to have some losing months throughout the year, and it's best to just go ahead and accept that so that you're not sitting here with the horrible, wrong expectations of a person who is an idiot, who refuses to accept what reality is, and instead you take it from me, somebody who doesn't really give a shit about whether or not you hear what hurts, because I will tell you the truth, and the truth is that you're probably going to have some losing months throughout the year, and that's okay. As long as you make a little more than you lose long term, you're fine. So I'll be selling Euro USD here at this resistance zone. Euro CAD, if I was not already in GBP CAD, I would be selling Euro CAD. Instead, I have opted to wait for Euro CAD to get all the way up here to this price, which is 1.6094. It's pretty much 1.61. Why would I like to sell Euro CAD there? Well, because it's a weekly resistance zone. If price can get all the way up into that zone, I'll probably drag my alert down just a little bit here. Then I think maybe she will bounce. Now, again, I'm going to be right just a little more than half the time. So you're going to be losing all the time, but you're also going to be winning all the time, especially if you're just using 1-to-1 risk-reward ratios. You get profit targets hit on a regular basis. The stop will look something like that, and the target will look something like that. And now we are done with this analysis for EuroCAD. How long did this take? For me to do it myself, it probably was going to take around 10 seconds. For me to explain it to you, it probably took about 20 seconds or whatever it is. You can count in the video how long it probably took to explain that. But it's literally, I think we can all comfortably say if you're keeping things ridiculously simple, it's going to take you less than like 30 seconds to do this analysis. You don't have to sit here and play all these stupid games. You only have to check the chart once a day. You can make really big bets on high conviction trades that you think look very clear and they're very obvious to you and you've gotten plenty of experience. If you approach trading that way, it is so much more laid back and peaceful and chill. And you can watch everyone else running around in circles, acting like idiots, trying to scalp the 10-second time frame and using all of this economic data and all of these weird candlestick entry models and putting all these things on their chart to try to convince themselves in some delusional schizophrenic way why they think price is going to go up or down. You can sit back and chill and do little to nothing and just look at the daily, weekly charts like once per day. It takes a couple minutes. Whenever you actually find a setup, it maybe takes you 30 seconds to identify it or less. To enter the trade on my phone, I use MetaTrader 5 with Forex.com as my broker. To enter the trade, it takes longer than it does for me to actually do the analysis to find the trade in the first place. To physically go into my phone, find the entry, see what sizing I need to use to look at where the stop loss will go and how much dollar amount risk that'll be and calculate the sizing, that takes maybe about 60 seconds. So this is a grand total of 1.5 minutes to actually enter a trade. To wait for it to get set up, to look at the context whenever I get the alert that price is at a support or resistance zone in the daily or weekly chart, to figure out where I'm going to have the entry, the stop loss, the target, and then enter it. It's about 1.5 minutes. And I'm not lying to you. I've just shown you exactly what I do. And if you don't believe me, go follow the free Telegram channel. See it all for yourself live every day. GBP USD is the same analysis as Euro USD, waiting on her to get into this resistance zone. That's the resistance zone. Why have I drawn it? Well, I mean, look, prices bounced here as resistance a couple times, broke above, bounced as support once, broke back below, had a little hook back around as resistance, then went down, and now we've bounced like maybe this first time once, but I just counted this one up here. That is why I've drawn that resistance zone right there. It's very, very simple. CAD JPY, I don't have anything. Sometimes you're going to look at the chart, you're not going to see anything. Only thing I see is way down here, and that's pretty far away. Now, price initially I thought might bounce at this zone. I ended up disregarding this zone because I didn't like this price action right here, how price just sliced through it right there. Also, we've already bounced here once and twice, and now we're back here into this zone. So I thought, I don't know if we're going to be bouncing here. So I'm not taking any trades on this. I don't have any analysis on this. In fact, I'll just remove all my drawings just, because there's not anything I see. GBP NZD has the same analysis as GBP CAD. Now, why have I not entered GBP NZD? It's just because they're both correlated assets. GBP NZD, GBP CAD, GBP AUD, GBP JPY, GBP USD. These are all GBP pairs. They have GBP pair in the first currency location, which is called the base currency. And the next currency after that is called the quote currency, like secondary place. But GBP being in the first place, GBP CAD, GBP NZD, GBP AUD, they're all going to do the same shit, right? Like you look at the charts, right? GBP CAD looks roughly the same as GBP, maybe not GBP USD, but GBP CAD looks roughly the same as GBP NZD, GBP AUD, and let's see, it's probably not going to be the same on GJ. Yeah, GBP, JPY doesn't look the same. However, we've got three setups at least, GBP AUD, GBP NZD, and GBP CAD that all look the same. They look like the same damn thing. Price is just going and making higher highs on those. They're all very correlated, so I'm not going to just enter all three of them at the same time, because whenever you do that, you're exposing yourself to a lot of risk. You're essentially risking double or triple the amount on the same trading idea. Because if GBP AUD falls, well, GN and GCAD are probably going to drop as well, right? If you enter GBP CAD for a sell, and then you also enter sells on GBP NZD, GBP AUD, they're probably going to go against you as well if GBP CAD goes against you. They're just correlated assets. I generally just pick one. I pick whichever one I think is best. And then if I'm going to enter another correlated asset, I'll wait for a way better entry, meaning price will have to go significantly to another location where I think, okay, this has been crazy. This is probably really likely to drop here. And then I will enter that trade. So that's what I'm doing for GBP NZD. I'm waiting for price to get up here into this location. Then I'll be looking to sell if we can get up there. What will the trade look like? It looks something like this. I'll enter up there. But obviously the context just depends. Just follow my free Telegram channel and subscribe to my paid Discord thing where I call all my trades live with the group chat, and we do live sessions every day. You just do that if you want. But on this right here, when price goes up and makes a new high, I just think, it's likely to pull back. And if it pulls back, this is a very modest profit target. I know it says 800 pips, but given the context here, right? Made a higher high here, pulled back 800 pips, made a new high right here, pulled back 700 pips. It's made a new high. If it goes all the way up here, 800 pips is very modest, right? Barely has to just pull back and make a higher low, then, everything's all set up. So that's GBP NZD, GBP AUD. I'm not even going to waste my time. It's the same exact damn thing, right? Price makes higher highs, higher lows. If it makes a new higher high further up, then I'll probably sell. USD JPY, don't see anything. Price is really far away from this current zone right here. I think this would be a reasonable place for price to bounce. I think something like that might happen, and then maybe it'll break later. But I do think at least we'll get a little bit of a bounce here, so I'm waiting on that. NZD CAD, I don't really see much right now. It's just pretty far away from all these zones. Euro GBP, I don't see much right now. I don't really see much on any of these other pairs, so I'm not even going to waste my time with a lot of them. USD CAD I could see dropping, but again, I'm already in GBP CAD, and I'm also looking to potentially take Euro CAD, so I'm not particularly interested in USD CAD because it's already been here at this resistance zone, and it's ranged for the past 3 months at this resistance zone. I don't really see anything there. Nothing on AUD JPY or NZD USD or GBP JPY or USD CHF or Euro JPY. Whenever you keep things very, very simple, you end up not having to do a lot of the bullshit that most people are just stuck doing for the rest of their losing trading career while they're looking at their phone, working at the grill at McDonald's in the back, desperately trying to risk $10 per trade, take a trade based on some sort of mysterious schizophrenic logic as to why they think price will go up or down. You don't have to play any of those games if you keep things very simple and you control risk. That is my wish for you. And I also you know, if you're really feeling daring today, make sure you join the free Telegram channel. Because, I mean, my God, you just click the link in the description or the first, I'll probably put it in the pinned comment. You could be in there in like seconds. And if you don't like it, just leave it. It's no big deal. If you like this video, make sure to do whatever the hell you want. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, my friend.